One night a month. I'm sorry. And it's one night a month. I want to be accurate. And we would have these wonderful conversations with these people. There's nobody on this earth, on God's earth, that when they were a baby said, "Boy, I hope I wake up and I'm homeless one day. I hope I grow up homeless. I want to grow. I want to have a nice childhood. I want to experience a lot of trauma then, and I want to be homeless. I want to become addicted to drugs." No, don't do that. These are real people. These are wonderful people who need help and they need services. So when you're sleeping in a homeless shelter, and it is wonderful to feed, and it is wonderful to provide towels and whatever, but when it's 3:30 in the morning and they have that itch that they want to use, or they have that itch that just whatever, and when you're present, when you're just present, you're sitting with them, and you're not saying what happened to you. Well, you can still put your life together. No, when you're present and you just say to them, "Hey, did you watch the Met game last night? What do you think of the Knicks?" Or, "Hey, well, this weather, when's it going to get warm?" And you just treat people with grace and you're an active listener, you're amazing, amazed what can happen. I learned that from my dad.
That's a phenomenal story. Oh my God. How old were you when he started taking you to do that?
I was about 18 or 19. Yeah.
That really left an impression, my goodness.
Oh,
That's a
yeah.
brave thing to do.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah, thank you. So when he left the police force, he didn't know what he wanted to do, and he was drinking a little too much. And he told my brother and I, "Get the guns out of the house." And then I was working as a security guard in Kings Plaza, and the New York City Police Department had this wonderful program for police officers who had alcohol problems. And I'll never forget. I'm not talking out of school because my dad has talked about this. His last 35 years of his life, he was sober and he became a U.S. Marshal and whatever. Um, it's funny. People say that not to lie, but sometimes lying is very good. And I'll tell you why. One of the greatest things I ever did in my life was to tell a lie. Can I share that with you?
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, so I'm driving him to. My dad had a lot of anxiety, and he used to rub his chest when he was in the thick of his alcoholism. And he was rubbing his chest, and like, "All right, take me. I'm going to go to the hospital today. We're going to go." And so I'm driving him, and we get, I don't know, 10 minutes away, and he's like, "Darren, we got to turn back. I'll go tomorrow. We almost made it. We'll go tomorrow. We'll go tomorrow." I'm like, "Dad, you almost made it. Let's just do it. We're here. We're here." And I'm driving, and my dad loved me incredibly so.
Aw.
But he looks at me and he punches me right in the face as I'm driving. And I turned to him, and do you know what I saw, Reena? I saw a scared child.
Wow.
He was afraid. And you know what? It didn't hurt at all. He was afraid. It was more like a mush, because he pulled it, and he was just afraid. And I told him, I was like, "You're fine. You're going to be good." And so we get to the hospital and we're in the waiting room. And I'll never know the name of the young nurse, and I'll never know the name of the janitor. But in my opinion, they saved my dad's life. Because here's the lie. So we're waiting there and we're waiting for the doctor to come in, for the people to get him and put him into, it was at Booth Memorial Hospital in Queens. And they had the program there. And my dad started to really rub his chest. "We got to go." And I was afraid he was going to elope and leave. And who knows what would happen. And I don't know if I ever get him back. So, and this is why I looked at it as divine intervention. You got to be open to it. And I looked, and literally, like something out of a movie. There's a janitor with a mop, and I said to myself, I went to the nurse. I said, "Can somebody put a white coat on him and pretend to be a doctor?" And no BS, 100% what happened. So she goes, yeah, I see what you're saying. And she just bought into it and put a white
Wow.
coat on him. And he just went like this to my dad. Hey, yeah, look, I got to go. Just to keep him enough until he came and he put him away. Took him upstairs. So he takes his wedding ring off, was remarried. And he says, I'm really sorry you had to see me like this. I'm so embarrassed. I was like, I've never been more proud of you than right now. And, so everything is nuanced, right? Everything is discernment. If, the greatest thing I did for my dad was to lie. I told a
It's so
lie.
sweet that you said, I'm so proud of you right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's interesting when the relationship flips and your
Yep.
parents need you just as
Hmm.
much as you need them. And
Oh,
it
yeah.
seems like it was a moment of that.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, your dad needs you as much as you need him, if not more.
You think?
I know. I know.
I still need him a lot. And it's crazy to say that at 45 years old. I'm like, oh man, I got to stick around a long time. I'm getting on my treadmill so I can stay alive for my 5-year-old.
Well, and that's a good thing. And you know what? Your 5-year-old knows it. Your 5-year-old knows it. Believe it or not, they know it.